This is the Pursuer, and today we're going to be talking about 10 more of Trevor Henderson's creatures explained. Number 1. The Pursuer. The Pursuer is after the fugitive. At least, that's what one of the quotes that Trevor Henderson put on his post says. The Pursuer is a humanoid creature with little hair and empty, bloody eyes. It seems to be very tall, as it towers above the person taking the picture. The humanoid looks like it has some hair, a wide mouth, and wide eyes. It looks malnourished and tired, as it looks extremely skinny. We cannot see the creature's legs, but it looks like it could be very big. While it is unknown whether the Pursuer is hostile or not, it is known that it wants to chase the fugitive, although the reason behind this is unknown. So far, we've been informed that the Pursuer actually has something to do with another one of the creatures that I have on this list. There is little to no behavioral understanding of the creature, so we don't know if it's hostile, but we also don't know if it isn't. Number 2. The Worm of the Red Court. The Worm of the Red Court is a gray creature with a tilted head and thin limbs. It does not look like a worm. It could possibly be a shapeshifter. In his Curious Cat profile, Trevor says he is a jester of a cosmic horror medieval court. So with that being said, it seems like this thing might not even be from our cosmos, might not even be from our dimension. And maybe it is, and it's just an extraterrestrial threat that we have to deal with. Number 3. White Linen. White Linen has white skin and hands that have no nails but 5 fingers. It has no head, so it is unknown how it sees, breathes, or even eats. The back legs look like they are broken, or at least the joints are backwards. Its skin is ripped right down the middle, and it shows its gray organs. The caption is someone describing it, saying that it was like white linen and that it traipsed up the basement stairs. In a reply to a comment, Trevor says it will hang up to dry if you're not careful. Number 4. The Man in the Red Room. Sometimes I dream about the red space, tucked away in some part of the city, in the back of some warehouse, and I can see what's been left in there. I can see why it can never be let out, and I wake up and I know it's all true. The Man in the Red Room, also known as the Thing in the Red Space, is a grotesque and mysterious creature made by Trevor Henderson. The Man in the Red Room depicts a horrifying, disfigured creature with a somewhat human-like shape dangling upside down, coming out of the ceiling of a heavily red-lighted room. The extremely disfigured appearance of this creature appears to be made of many, many meaty strands of various thickness and length, which connect and intertwine with each other in order to form a body that resembles a short humanoid shape with bent legs, long arms, and numerous holes. Now, there's a theory that this creature was actually summoned by some sort of supernatural origin. It could have been some Ouija board incident or some black magic kind of thing. But for some reason this creature is here, and the theory persists, and if correct, someone has summoned it here, which also means that some other things can be summoned here. Number 5. The Hokkaido Hands. This screenshot was taken from a tape left in a dirty and broken camcorder found outside a forest in Hokkaido, Japan. It was lodged in the crook of an old tree, over 12 feet off the ground. So that was the quote that accompanied this picture, and so far from the information given, that there might actually be a longer version of this tape, and also that there is something out there in the forests of Japan, waiting, hoping that someone stumbles upon it again. The Hokkaido Hands depict numerous human-like arms reaching out from behind or beside the trunks of different trees in a forest, complete with hands containing 5 fingers, as well as proper joints. Most of the arms are very thin and bony, almost seeming malnourished. They also appear to be smaller than an adult human arm, so they may actually be arms of a child. In the image, we can see 8 arms in total, all in varying lengths, with some being much longer than others. Okay, so there's a theory that actually goes along with this caption and all the information given about this creature so far. Some people actually think that it might be 8 children that have been fused together because they actually stumbled upon an irradiated area that they were actually forbidden from going into. Whatever the case may be, that is what the mutation theory is, and it is very terrifying if true, because that means that someone else may be able to stumble upon this location and the same things may happen to them. Number 6, homebody. Homebody seems to be a tall humanoid, possibly up to 2.5 meters tall, with one arm somehow appearing under the stairs and a long neck. Therefore, it is implied that this creature that has similar flexibilities as Cartoon Cat might be connected. Therefore, we can also assume that the legs do not stretch like the hands, similar to Cartoon Cat. Now, the thing about this photo is, for that creature to be able to reach towards the camera and for us to be able to see its arm, might have been crawling through a vent, or at least reaching through one. Number 7. Bell ringer. Bell ringer depicts a human-like figure standing in a dimly lit room. Where it originated is unknown. The entirety of the creature, minus the arms, appeared to be a mere skeleton, held together by some sort of fully incomposed web-like material, possibly muscular tissue or mucus. And of course, its head appears to not be made of any organic material, and instead being replaced with a typical bright red electric school bell. Now, by looking at this creature, you obviously have the same thought as me, don't you? It is another of those siren head-like beings, and maybe another form of it, or an evolution, or maybe an offspring of some sort. With that being said, it seems like there's a lot more creatures like Siren Head out there than we thought before. Number 8. Anxious dog. Anxious dogs, also known in Mayfair Watchers Society as canids, are a peculiar invasive species created by Trevor Henderson. They appear in the 3rd and 10th episode of Mayfair Watchers Society, The Autopsy, and The Exterminators, respectively. Anxious dogs are grotesque, large, quadrupedal, with white to pale pink translucent and hairless skin, and they seemingly possess no outer dermal layer, with tendon and muscular structures being visible. Their emaciated torsos narrow from the shoulders to the slim waist. The spinal structure is also visible, hence their thinness, with no tail or evidence of a digestive system. Anxious dogs' heads are oval-shaped, with a wide mouth seemingly carved through the lower half of said head. I got a theory about the Scoobies. Whatever we see them as, that's what they are. We see them as killers, they kill. That's why most of them are monsters. Someone sees it for the first time, freaks out, and it acts like they fear it will. But if they see it from a distance, maybe study it, hell, maybe even think it's cute, then it'll act differently. That was the quote that accompanied this picture. And so far, this makes sense. That there might be some sort of supernatural being out there that just feeds off our emotions and only reacts to the way we think it should react. Imagine, like they say, imagine you see a creature in the distance and you actually think it's kind of cute and it reacts friendly towards you. But if you see something and it terrifies you and you act hostile to it because of that fear, then maybe it itself will turn hostile towards you. Number 9, Hole House. When I woke up, there was a little tight cluster of holes in the wall above my head. They seemed deeper than what should have been possible. That was the start of it. It looks like a white, bald humanoid, but with black, seemingly oozing holes all over its body. The face is covered in dark holes, like the rest of its body. However, it lacks any facial features, as if it never had any to begin with. The creature itself stands on 2 pointy stubs and seems to not have any hands. Its left arm appears to have a large hole in it, resulting in the upper left arm to seemingly float in place where it should be. We can see what is most likely a form of liquid dripping out of its holes, primarily on its chest and face. So far, there are 20 plus holes and gapes on its body that have been counted, and if anything, it most likely has more holes all over its body. Number 10. The Fugitive. The Fugitive has 2 big black eyes with an enlarged fleshy face. It does not have any other facial features. We cannot see the rest of its body because it is covered by the darkness. It seems to have one missing eye and a circular mouth with possibly no teeth. The nose cavity seems to be skull-like and is formed as a dent by the flesh. And like I mentioned before, this is getting chased by the pursuer. So that was 10 more Trevor Henderson creatures explained. If you guys like that one, please click the video on the screen right in front of you where I talk about a brand new Trevor Henderson creature that is barely being talked about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.